I love this game. It's just a parody. Don't get your taunter in a twist. Ratchet and Clank reference. Wow, before I even start, I have to ding this shit. Hear that whooshy whoosh sound? And notice the lack of a subtitle? Really? I suspect this has to do with the fact that this game has different names in different regions, so they didn't want to make 2 title screens for the different names. The US gets the innuendous Going Commando, while Europe and Australia got locked and loaded. Screw you, ratings board. That's a terrible viewing angle. You're going the right way for square eyes.
Welcome back to Behind the Hero.
Haha, get it? Behind the hero? Okay, but seriously, stalking is a serious offense.
Well, as you can imagine, we've been pretty busy.
James Arnold Taylor isn't flailing a lightsaber around in this scene.
We're still pretty busy, but in a more, domestic sense.
Yesterday, I flushed out my radiator core.
I guess no one needs a hero right now.
Ratchet is just Sean William Scott at this point. Nobody wants him anymore, but he'll turn up to events and fundraisers to eat all the shrimp and spike the punch with Penalax.
Miss Noodlebottom, I found our man.
But that lip sync though, you can just do that? Wow, that would have so many uses. Very illegal uses.
I'm Abercrombie Fizzwidget, founder of the Megacorp Company in the Bogon Galaxy.
Jim Ward isn't being Captain Quark in this scene.
I'm sorry to incapacitate you, but our entire galaxy is in a very precocious situation. I must humbly request your sustenance on a mission of dire urgitude, a mission of superfluous peril, a mission of unequivocal imperitude.
These mispronunciations were my childhood. I can't tarnish them even if I tried.
We are prepared to give you a job as the head accountant for Megacorp.
I would be immediately suspicious if someone made me head accountant of a weapons manufacturing giant. I'd probably also say, yeah, alright.
You will undergo heavy training and conditioning, including martial arts, heavy weaponry, survival skills, stealth, macrame, ballroom dance, and origami.
Ratchet is the origami killer, confirmed. God damn it, I forgot about the helmet thing. Guys, just play these on PS2.
Nice try. Give my regards to Megacorp.
Ah, a graduate of the good, the bad, and the ugly school of monologues over shooting, I see. Okay, that should have killed him, right? Or at least injured him somewhat.
Oh, I forgot my wallet. Could you, take care of this?
With a button that big, it was bound to get hit by a flying object at some point. Crazy guy trying to sell you useless shit that's only useful in very specific situations no one else but Ratchet would ever encounter cliche. How did the crazy dude get out? He would have needed a tractor beam, which he just sold to Ratchet. Wow, great boss.
Ratchet, come in. Are you there?
How did Fizzwidget contact us through this random monitor in an abandoned Megacorp store? And if that's the end goal of this level, that is getting notified by Fizzwidget of the thief's whereabouts, then doesn't that render this whole level moot? Heh moot.
The B2 Brawler. No living creature is a match for this machine. Watch 6 tons of Carbonox alloy hunt for its prey.
Carbonox is one of the hardest materials in the galaxy, but the B2 Brawler can easily be taken out with a few blitzgun shots.
Yes, may I help you?
Are some robots just built without the ability to talk? That's kinda inhumane. So to speak. I'm curious to know what the general public opinion is regarding these ship levels because I think they're cancer. It all boils down to waiting until the enemies fly in front of you so you can shoot them down and occasionally doing an aileron roll. I really despise ship levels. Pressing triangle apparently triggers maniacal space thug laughter. Submitted by Jack TTYD Lover. A game for kids is encouraging gambling. +1 to humanity. Shh, don't say it's for kids. If Ill Ratchet and Clank 3 was anything to go by, people really hate it when others say that. Incidentally, I'm curious as to how many sins humanity has. Also, gambling. In space!
Introducing, from nowhere in particular, this guy.
Can he really just enter a gladiatorial arena with the name This Guy? Did no one bother to get his name?
He'll take home this brand new electrolyzer.
A gadget that allows the user to hack into terminals to power objects and open doors? That's an oddly specific and illegal prize.
The first and, only winner of the Gladiator Games. This guy. You're not eligible for a championship series.
They have a championship series, yet no one has ever won. How is this arena still pulling in a crowd? Chainblade is easy. The B2 Brawler is cheap. The aforementioned Electrolyzer is an interesting test of peripheral vision, but it's nowhere near as cool as the Trespasser from the first game. Clank could probably pull himself out of there quite easily, unless he has Stockholm Syndrome or something. Megapolis is just a discount metropolis. Is a sniper really necessary? I can literally think of one instance where it might come in handy, and that's not until the second last level, where the sniper is essentially considered underpowered compared to newer weapons. If anything, the sniper doesn't really become useful until Deadlocked onwards.
Greetings, morons.
I haven't rescued Clank yet, buddy. Stop jumping the gun.
Backup! I need backup!
You'll need more than backup, mate. You'd better hope Cerberus comes along with the Lazarus Project.
Hey, my old swing shot and grind boots.
I can't help but feel these gadgets should have been with Ratchet from the start rather than on display in Clank's apartment. Either way, why stop there? Where's the rest of Ratchet's arsenal and gadgets?
Okay, Clank, don't move.
Haha, haha, ha. See, told you Clank could get out. Didn't expect him to phase through the restraints though. Clank level. I'm sure some of you won't take kindly to my dissing of Clank levels. Allow me to demonstrate what you should do should you form such an opinion.
You did great. Now, let's go get that experiment back.
But Clank's head accountant. You can't just pull him away from his job like that. The Barlowian Saw Beasts are fucking terrifying, and I don't care what you say. On one hand, it's cool that they brought back Gadgetron weapons from the first game. On the other hand, not only are they not upgradable, but also aren't as useful as they were previously. The Walloper still sucks, the Bomb Glove has been outclassed by the Mini-Nuke, and the Visibomb is more or less useless in most combat sections in this game, which are close quarters and require quick movement.
Our space rendezvous point has been moved to, and listen up, knuckleheads, the Felsen system in Sector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many thugs will get lost and actually end up at Sector 12,345?
It works! My invention works!
People sure know how to defy death in this universe.
Gadgetron will pay me millions!
I don't think Gadgetron's operated in this galaxy for years.
Hey, maybe you'd like to buy it.
Just sell it to Megacorp, or head back to the Solana Galaxy to sell it to Gadgetron. Either way, selling it to Ratchet for a few bolts is a terrible business decision. The lift is down during this cutscene, but is up here afterwards. And it's not like the Frozen dude used it, he walked in the totally opposite direction. Which leads nowhere, by the way. Wow, double whammy.
We are under attack.
Can't outrun them. Let's hope these weapons work.
You've used them before though. Ship level. Thank God every phone call is recorded and readily available in this universe.
Oh yeah? Well, you can kiss your you know what I mean. Dang it.
Turns out anime VA veteran Steve Bloom voices the thug leader. In case you don't know who that is, he's Dodachin in Durarara, Jack Kamen from Mad World, and most famously, Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Why is this a sin? Because he also voiced Leron from Gurren Lagann, and look, I ain't got nothing against gays, but this dude gives me nightmares.
The man, the myth, the legend, the loser.
Steve Bloom isn't being a terrifying homosexual in this scene. What? This picture never happened.
Quark sold bogus merchandise he claimed were Gadgetron products. But a key defect in this product, the personal hygienator, caused severe irritation in sensitive body areas.
You bet putting a claw, a drill, and a toothbrush up your ass is going to give you severe irritation.
Too late again.
We always seem to be a bit late. Why is that?
Ratchet and Clank have the gall to blame their tardiness on me. As we say down here in Australia, you're fucking dead, mate. Don't shoot these things. Ever. Especially if you get motion sickness. I think I speak for everyone when I say that this ice level is the worst thing in existence.
Excuse me? Have you seen any masked weirdos?
The fact that Ratchet even has the idea to talk to these robots like that means that robot manufacturers aren't doing their job correctly. I had this conversation with you last time, Ratchet and Clank. Paying the progress the game sucks crusty granny lumps.
Yes, I need to order 2 more containers of sulfuric acid. Oops. Better make that 5 containers and 4 containers of liquid hydrogen.
Could have just kept it in a cage and avoided all that extra spending.
And I need it delivered.
Where the fuck did this thing's lower jaw go? Once again, Ratchet does the dance with death, and successfully woos his partner. We interrupt this Ratchet and Clank game to bring you back to the future. What is he saying? Burnt the diaper? Rat indictment? Blah or diet? Well, that's it. We've recovered the experiment. Roll those credits.
Ratchet? Spank? Is that you?
Spank. 3,000 years into the future, and videos appear as if they're being played on a projector.
When we first arrived, we found a planet completely overrun by rainforest. To better accommodate the local wildlife, we transformed this impassable jungle into an easily navigable desert.
So, Earth.
It says, in case of emergency, break glass with wrench. Hold on. This one says, use rock to break glass to get wrench to break glass to get rock.
As far as I can tell, the riddle isn't solvable without using some outside force. The riddle is supposed to halt potential thieves long enough so that they may be caught. Clank demonstrates this well, while Ratchet proves how stupid that is. Clever in hindsight, but this earns us him because the wrench still sucks. On the original PS2 version, this sloppy animation would have been covered up due to the 4:3 aspect ratio, something they might have forgotten to account for here. Submitted by Mr. Jake Guy 14.
You have 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa!
How does the mask falling off change her whole fucking outfit? Off-screen magic, my friend. Also submitted by Mr. Jake Guy 14. Angela is clearly a Lombax. Why the fuck was this not a plot point? I'm guessing they weren't too concerned with plots and continuities this early on, but that definitely came back to bite them on the ass once the Future trilogy rolled around.
This changes nothing.
Angela would totally be hot if she weren't also rocking the voice of Phil and Lil from Rugrats. Also, did you know the voice of Angela, Kate Sushi, I don't know, voiced incredibly annoying small child Cook in Lost Odyssey?
Did you plant these flowers? Nuh-uh. They're just flowers that grow around here. Mom says they're really rare.
Well, we're not sending Lost Odyssey here, so someone needs to take one for the team. Again. Submitted by Taki Tivarg, or whatever.
Don't have time to stand around explaining it to you. If you have any intention of fixing the mess you've made, watch this.
Angela not immediately telling Ratchet and Clank about the protopet once she's unmasked, instead showing them a holovid of an irrelevant planet expecting them to figure it out on their own, despite it being the single biggest threat to the galaxy. She would have saved much more time just telling them why it was a problem. Man, people really love this scene, huh?
Oh no! Good thing that wasn't little Susie.
3,000 years into the future, and the toaster still hasn't been perfected. How hard is it to add Wi-Fi capabilities?
Possession is an illusion. Do not all things belong to the cosmos?
No. That's definitely mine.
James Arnold Taylor is essentially talking to himself in this scene. On one hand, this level has some of the best music in the game. On the other hand, the level itself is a boring sandbox. Filled with annoying swarming enemies. I think these things are cute. Look, they even spray sweet chili sauce at you. Oh, how sweet. I'd make a joke about stealing camouflage from the Covenant, but I already did that one. When you think of outer space, do you think hang glider? It's obvious I don't like this level by this point, but at the very least, this is the level where we can finally purchase the bouncer, arguably the greatest video game weapon of all time.
Put it in the slot.
Whew, if I had $1 for every time I heard that one, I'd have $1. What? I was returning a DVD to the video rental store and they were closed. I couldn't leave it out in the open, someone might have stolen it. Submitted by Federation Thunderbolt. How can Quark fit in a toilet?
That moon's where we divide losers from winners before adding them to the Megacorp games. There's a challenger up there ready to reduce you to nothing.
The challenger just so happens to be the Thugs for Less leader. How oddly convenient. Giant Clank level.
I'll get you, Ratchet. It's the last thing I do.
Oh my god, that's some Sonic 06 shit.
So, Eggman,
The power appears to be out in this entire area.
Power's out, huh? Is that really what's happening right now?
This update is strictly classified. If you are watching this, you're fired.
Shit, guys, you heard the man. I have to leave YouTube now. Haha, nah, just kidding. You'll never get rid of me. I'll always be there. Like the everlasting love of your family. Or dementia. Whoa, is that a sword? That's a bit over the top.
We just saw a video of your experiment eating its handlers. I repeat, it eats its handlers.
Ah, yes. Low fat, extra foam, no sprinkles.
What could possibly have fat, foam, and sprinkles? A bacon donut? A steak cappuccino? I've been informed that some beverages have non-fat or low-fat options. This sin sounded funny in my head until I actually googled it. Submitted by Mr. Jake Guy 14.
We will meet you at your deep space disposal facility.
Ah, yes, my cheap date proposal facsimile. It's heavily guarded, so make sure to use the password, which is, Quarktastic, yes.
How do they not suspect the password Quarktastic? Only Quark is self-centered enough to have that password. Fun fact, that was my school password for about a year. Does that mean I'm self-centered too? Submitted by LeoAlex50, Felix and Jack TTYD Lover. I guess I'll just paraphrase this into a form which I feel most appropriate. Fuck this fucking fucked up nanotech fucking upgrade piece of shit. Fuck you, Insomnia. You fucking fuckers. Fuck my face. I fucking took like half a fucking hour getting this fucking nanotech fucking upgrade. No fucking ship level.
Anyway, sorry to have missed our meeting, but I was called away to film a commercial for our weapons facilitatory.
Well, that was filmed, edited, and produced very quickly. I couldn't render a video that quickly, even if I tried. Also, considering how often Fizzwidget mispronounces things, I'm surprised he was able to stick to the script.
Dang, I wanted these boots myself. But they'll look real nice with your outfit.
Red boots with that green outfit? Oh, darling, please. This extremely out-of-place platform section. This shady-looking character inexplicably grows to twice his normal size while not in a cutscene. The levitator requires fuel, yet the thruster pack doesn't. Hey look, those things I left at home that would have been extremely useful. Isn't this how PlanetSide ended? You know what's better than adding one slightly underwhelming hacking gadget? Adding a second one that's actually worse because it's nothing but trial and error on a strict time limit. Instead of putting a taxi here, why not have a teleporter? The taxi takes way too long to fly you back to your ship. Robot Fizzwidget's voice doesn't play in the PS3 port, so as he's guiding the tourist around, I like to think he's just pointing to each of the exhibits and saying, "Look, here's your fucking rocket. Next."
Angela Cross, calling Ratchet.
And now Angela's calling us on random monitors.
Introducing the Megacore Protopet. Your child will shriek with joy when he meets our adorable friend.
What does shrink with joy even mean? How does someone get so excited they just grow smaller? I'm so livid I'm going to breathe with anger.
You shamed the greatest superhero who ever lived!
Showing support for Quark at this stage is like showing support for Kanye West. Man, he was good back in the day, but now he's just petty and so far up himself he looks like a pretzel. Just like Quark. Clearly the sheepinator went off by accident and turned all the workers and scientists into sheep. Why this facility is open for tours is beyond me.
Also, be on the lookout for these two characters.
Who took this picture? I've been told I need to suspend my disbelief while playing the Ratchet and Clank games, but come on, grinding on support beams? Piss off. I think I might use this sound effect as the ding from now on. Hey, people were saying I was already a CinemaSins ripoff, may as well try and distance myself from that somehow, right? What a perfect way to do it! Submitted by Carl Hart.
Freeze, knuckleheads!
Oh no.
The two of yous are under arrest for attempting to bump off Mr. Fizzwidget.
Ratchet and Clank were easily captured by Thugs for Less and Quark later in the game, even though they fought through a large army beforehand. This is a sin I'll be touching on in later games too. It just doesn't make sense that Ratchet's usual shoot first, ask questions later strategy eludes him here.
All new inmates will meet one-on-one with the Galactic Nutritionist. Come check out our fitness spa with your personal trainer. And for those times when you're just feeling blue, come talk it out with one of our 10 full-time life coaches.
I reaffirm my statement from the Ratchet and Clank PS4 sin video. Prison is fucking great, and everyone needs to go out into the world and kill somebody immediately. Also, that was a very quick repurposing of Angela's ship from a flying lab into a prison.
I assume you have provisions for vegetarians.
How might a robot eat vegetables?
You, take them away! And impound their ship, too!
Instead of destroying it. So on the off chance that Ratchet and Clank do escape from their cell, they'll have a hard time actually getting off the prison ship itself.
Hey. Sorry.
Not only are they lasers, but they're not vertical. Dragging the mug from left to right wouldn't produce this sound. Here's a Megacorp vendor, just in case you escape.
I'm afraid that there is absolutely no means of escape.
Means of escape presents itself right after a character concludes that there is no escape cliché. Thank God they placed the weaker chicken bots throughout the vents and not the ones with reinforced armor.
Check this out. Another wrench.
The wrench is floating, and Ratchet appears to be directly speaking to the player. Ratchet and Clank is a video game confirmed. Placing 3 blocks here means we have to issue the hammer command 3 times when it would have been easier to just have 1 block. Way to inconvenience the player. We get it, Ratchet and Clank 3 will be a thing.
Hey, I know those pants.
We get it, Ratchet and Clank 1 was it? Okay, I'll stop.
Surely someone in this galaxy could...
Shh! I know that, but they don't. I get triple time and travel expenses.
Travel expenses? For a plumber? What a time to be alive.
There you go, pal. See you in another year or so.
Remember when annualized games were good?
Hey, who's there?
Character sneezes and alerts enemies of their presence cliché.
I detect thugs for less ships at 1 o'clock.
You think? Great work, Detective.
Ship level.
Well, it looks like the thugs moved Angela out of this quadrant.
How would you know? You shot the fleet down. She's fucking dead. Snivelac. Alright, let me get into a bit more detail here. Snivelac is easily the worst level in the game besides ship levels, and probably one of the worst levels in the series' history. It opens with a mostly harmless platforming segment, complete with helicopters randomly flying up the side of a building for no real reason, with parts of them clipping through the wall. Then it devolves into this incredibly annoying gauntlet run with enemies everywhere. You'll probably end up running back and forth to the weapons vendor because you'll use so much ammo. Then there's another helicopter, except it's at the top of the screen and aiming at it is almost impossible. The only reliable method of clearing this guy out is the plasma storm, which you likely won't have yet. And what's even better? 2 of the bastards! Then more thugs randomly appear and trap you behind extremely noisy walls of ear rape. And to top it all off, this fucking boss. You know what this boss is? A 15-minute long turret section. The worst thing about this level, well, the second worst thing besides the boss, is that it completely throws off the difficulty curve of the entire game. Nothing comes close to being as difficult as this level for the remainder of the game, not even the final level. Snivelac is unfair, boring, rushed, and not thought out very well at all, and I know I'm gonna cop just a bit of hate in the comments for this, but I really don't care. 50 sins for this terrible level.
What's so funny?
Nothing, I guess.
Fine, I'll take a sin off. Just one. Submitted by Luca Pearson. When you retrieve the protopet from the thief, Ratchet uses the Heavy Lancer, but he won't use the Lancer even if you haven't upgraded it yet. Same for the Snivelac cutscene after beating the boss. It's likely that they already expected you to have the Heavy Lancer in both cases, but nonetheless, it's still a sin.
Whoa. You used to work for Megacorp?
Yes, in the genetics division.
On the protopet?
On fixing the protopet's flaws.
Yep, multiplying and eating its handlers are definitely flaws.
And I was this close to succeeding when FizzWidget suddenly pushed up their release date.
Somehow developer commentary wound up in the finished game, just reworded to sound like it was a part of the story. You cheeky little bastards. Whether this game is rushed or not is open to debate, but I believe it may have been. I have a feeling that they tried to perfect the game's mechanics, but left themselves very little time to finish the levels properly. But that's a topic for another video.
We're gonna need to break into Megacorp headquarters.
Break in? How?
I have an old Megacorp ID on my home planet.
If you don't work for Megacorp anymore, would an old ID work? They likely would have removed you from the system. The game says we're here to disrupt shipments, but honestly, we're just killing a few enemies. I don't think that's gonna help.
Go ahead. You'd be doing me a favor.
Michael Bell isn't being an endearing butler character in this scene. The developers said let's have him meet the player's bolts. That'll make him look like more of an asshole.
This is Darla Gratch reporting live from Algon City.
Is Darla Gratch the only reporter in this universe? Luckily, they're robots, so we can have some full-on PG-rated mass murder happening with no negative repercussions.
The entire population of that planet will be devoured.
Unless we get there in time.
You think he can just fly on down to Planet Damsel and just shoot every single protopet? Not a chance, Slim. Also, Planet Damsel. Algon City. Sure, I'm mentally expired by this point. They grind rail too big for he goddamn feet.
Sorry.
I forgive you, game. Let's put that Snivelac business behind us. This serial is the same size as Ratchet. You know what's better than one kinda boring sandbox level filled with collectibles? A second sandbox level filled with collectibles. Except this time, the enemies are powerful Yeti-like creatures who swarm you at a moment's notice. Who designed this shit?
Existence is a lie. Sensations are illusions. Possessions are merely visions.
And feminism is merely a social construct. Sorry, I just wanted to sound relevant. Like pointing a dynamo at the protopet is going to do anything. That thing's designed to activate electronic devices.
That'll shut him down permanently.
20% off a complete service at Groovy Lube.
Angela knows how to get her lube on.
I'm sickened, but curious.
Just be careful.
Remember that one time on Planet Tabora where she was a bit clumsy? She wasn't really clumsy after that, but let's use this apparent clumsiness and make it one of her character traits because she doesn't really have a personality other than that. Taking this little mining vehicle out for a spin will allow you to dig for raritanium, which in turn can be traded for ship upgrades. Except there aren't any more ship levels in the game, making this activity pointless unless you already knew of the existence of challenge mode. Also, Angela says this.
Well, Megacorp's orbital defenses are nasty. With 2 ships, there's a good chance at least one of us will get through.
which leads me to believe that there was a cut level where you would take on these orbital defenses. Man, I am getting so fucking good at this. Leave a like. I literally can't make heads or tails of this room. The fact that this girl robot managed to get this far makes it seem like it's leading up to some twist where she's evil and has been orchestrating this whole thing. Or not.
Enjoy the Hygienator! Remember, you bought it from Steve! Steve McQuark! Indeed.
What? You think I'm gonna send Quark's shitty disguise? No. His disguise works quite well. It would work even better if his mustache weren't an ungodly shade of purple.
Mr. Fizzwidget!
This is bad.
All right, just what the f is going on?
Oh, that's so edgy I might just get cut.
Guards! Seize them!
My word, Ratchet, if you would just learn to shoot when this sort of thing happens. You were literally killing these enemies 2 minutes ago. I hate to rag on Ratchet and Clank 2 any further than I have, but this boss battle, and practically every other boss battle, is way too easy. With an upgraded bouncer and plasma storm, this fight can end in around a minute. Protopet used rollout. It's not very effective. Protopet used spit up. It's still not very effective. Why does Clank get a longer kiss? Unless Angela swings a different way.
Uh-oh. It's okay. I can fix her. I promise.
Really? That's where you decide to put your credits? If there wasn't a post-credits scene, that would have been wholly unsatisfying.
I just got done testing the full body Waxinator. I am personally sporting a smooth chassis, and there are no tags on my luggage.
Oh cool, I've been mentally scarred for life. Let me scar you for life too. Quark's pubes. If I'm gonna suffer, you're gonna suffer with me. Well, at least we know where Quark's testicles are. I've been dying to know personally. And on challenge mode, it takes 3 nukes to kill a single enemy.
Oh fuck, I forgot about the plasma storm. Shit. Quick, knock 5 Zins off before someone brings it up.
Kill yourself! Oh yeah!
Hello and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. There will be more Everything Wrong with Ratchet and Clank videos on the way, and if you have an idea for a sin, then feel free to submit them by commenting down below or tweeting at me. Just make sure they're good. If you want to watch more of my stuff, check out these videos. Thanks for watching everybody, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. No, I can't do this. This end slate sucks. I sound like any old YouTuber. Quick, cue the memes!